I returned from a business trip and found out my wife left our daughter and cheated on me with a random guy in a hotel. My wife and I have been together for almost 9 years. We have a daughter together. I got consumed with my schooling, doctoral degree in psychology, and pulled away from her during an intense assignment. Before the assignment, communication was lacking. Some guy met her in a department store, saw her looking through shoes for our daughter, and recommended a website for her to go to. He asked for her number to send her the website address. Well, he contacted her and told her everything she desperately wanted to hear. One thing led to another, and they met up a week and a half ago to have sex in a hotel room when I was out of town on a business trip. My massive school assignment backed straight up to going out of town. When I came back, I could tell that she had grown cold from me. She told me that she felt like she and I were just friends, and she told me that she could do everything on her own, and that she was questioning whether she needed me in her life. I responded with giving my wife and daughter lots of attention, caring, affection, and made sure to be there because I know that I hadn't been during the 4 to 5 weeks it took to complete this assignment, one that I was literally working every waking hour and only getting a few hours of sleep at night. 2 mornings ago, I catch her texting the guy. She fessed up but first told me that she wanted to continue to see him, a guy she met 2 months ago. I was crushed. I gave her space in the hopes that she would choose me because I love my wife. Later that day, she told me that she wanted to be with me. She told the other guy that everything was finished and changed her number. Positive steps. Being trained in psychology, I feel like I am trying to fix it all. I had her listen to an audiobook with me about how to help your spouse heal from your affair. We got through less than half of it, and I have just been an emotional wreck. I have already purchased a couple of books on recovering from an affair, and I feel like she has not taken any initiative in that area. Another thing is that I want to feel close to her. I have fears of abandonment from her and want her to touch me, hold me, and care for me. Last night, I told her that I wanted to cuddle more than anything, and I wanted for her to initiate sex. We have had sex a few times, and it is wonderful when we do. I feel connected with her in those moments. I have brought up couples therapy, her quitting her super stressful job, getting her to listen to the rest of the audiobook on her own, going to therapy individually, spiritual growth, and everything else I could think of that would help us. I feel like she is not making a concerted effort in these areas. She complains that I have not given her enough time. I just love my wife so much and cannot see myself without her. We met and started dating super early in college, and we have built so many dreams together. I feel like I am losing a grip with reality on what is realistic regarding the expectations I have for her. Am I crazy? Should I back off from my intense desire to fix this? I have read that the unfaithful person is supposed to be the healer. Am I trying too hard to heal? Update. I want to be strong for my wife, yet on the other hand, I feel like I am invalidating my emotions. Where is the balance? How and when can I turn to her? Whenever I share with her my feelings of betrayal, she gets mad because of my previous transgressions. Smoking pot about a year ago on several occasions and actually bringing it in our household, confessing my viewing of pornography a year and a half ago, and my pulling so far away from her when school was getting more difficult, which, combined with her super emotionally draining job, made her become an automaton who just went through the motions of her life. She tells me that she then feels conflicted because she feels as though she has no right to be mad about my past because of what she did to me. She has a right to her feelings, and I do too. I feel like I am drowning in my thoughts in the middle of the night. I wake up with flashbacks about the details of what she said she did with him. I wake up feeling betrayed, lonely, and needing a hug. I have the urge to want to ask my wife all these questions about the affair and share with her all my pain. Yet I know that that is not effective right now if my goal is to salvage our marriage. Our marriage is shattered into pieces, and I am the one to have to pull us together and be strong right now. I have to let my wife see that I am a viable mate. This has been a long time coming that she has seen how I have not been there for her. I get to the point at times when I have vices and get hyper-focused on other aspects of my life. I am a seriously driven person who compensates my incessant drive for success with vices at times. My life is always out of balance, If I don't show her how I am the man she fell in love with, a man without vices who was fun and loving, then I feel like she will leave me considering all that she has been through with me. My wife has good character, and an affair was not something she actively pursued. I pushed her to the point to where she had needs that she did not think I could meet. Another man sensed that weakness in her, and like offender and prey, capitalized on it by telling her everything she wanted to hear. He never made her feel like she was getting in over her head. He just validated her emotions unlike I have in the recent past, mirrored back to her all the things that she craved so desperately. I have to have faith that our marriage will work. I have to pull closer to her to get her see that I am going to be there for her, and I am not going to pull away any further. I have to give her freedom of choice here, and I feel like I have nothing to lose if I try to salvage my marriage. My values are stronger to be together as a family unit than my need to feel validated and understood right now. I feel like my mindset is the difference between having our marriage fail and salvaging our marriage. If I pull away on my own to work on me, then we lose us. I will heal in a different way if I do it on my own. I have to pull away from what is right or common in a typical affair situation and do what is effective and according to my values. This is the hardest thing I have ever gone through in my entire life. I have to recognize what my values are and what my goals are for our family. I see us rebuilding into something even stronger and better. I am not a victim. I am a survivor. I am broken. I can be healed. A family that heals together stays together. I must heal with my wife. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor other. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. I love my wife. Update. My wife continues to hide that she is seeing and talking to this guy. I want to show her my love for her and stay around. I have truly forgiven her and see why she did it. I also told her that I will have to trust her because I want her to be able to choose me without any guilt. We have a 2.5-year-old daughter together. I want to show her that I can be her man. She is sneaking to text him and call him and telling me that she is being honest with me. Will my love for her win out? She is a good person with a good heart, but she is ripping mine to shreds right now. How can I get her to choose me? Is there anyone who has competed and won? We have committed to allowing 3 months before we make any decisions. Update. Tonight I sleep alone in my own apartment. I have never lived alone. The freedom is exciting and overwhelming. For those who will look at my older posts to get more of the background information, she wanted to stay with him. We were together for 9 years. It sucks. It's not what I wanted for my life, but I love my new apartment. I love my freedom. Yet I have these moments of intense sadness and loneliness. I have been eating healthy, exercising, scheduling activities with friends, taking medication, seeing a therapist, and staying away from other women for now. I know I can make it through this, but any advice from people who have made it past this point is much appreciated. I found my wife with her affair partner in our bed. This is a throwaway for the obvious reason. I've been reading in here for several days trying to wrap my head around the craziness that is my life. Last week, I was completely and utterly happy. Head over, heels in love with my fiancé. We've been together for years. We found out in May she was pregnant. Life didn't feel like it could get any better. I'm an essential worker and still unfortunately have to travel from time to time for my job. I have been trying to cut down on plane travel and will drive if able. Last week, I was scheduled to be gone all week, but ended up being able to leave several days ahead of time, but wanted to surprise my fiancé. It was an 8-hour drive, but ended up being close to 14 because of traffic and poor timing on my part. I get home around 10:30 p.m. and find her and a coworker in our bed together. She's an assistant producer at a local news station, and he's one of the actors. She immediately tries to defuse the situation and says it's not what I think it is and not to jump to conclusions. He jumps up and puts his clothes on and leaves. I was so angry I was seeing stars. She tries to talk to me about it, but I don't want to hear it. I leave and call a buddy and have been staying with him for the past 6 days. I spoke to her on the phone yesterday and she told me it was a one-time thing and she feels like the passion has been missing in our relationship, which I don't agree with at all. I think she was trying to justify the cheating and gaslight me. I'm so angry and she won't stop harassing me. I don't know what to do. We're going to be parents and I don't want anything to do with her, but I'm stuck with her for the next 18 years, minimum. She hasn't even apologized. She just keeps trying to justify her actions. Sorry if this is all over the place. My brain is all over the place. Just needed to get it out, and some advice would be great. Update. Last week I was completely and utterly happy. Head over heels in love with my fiancé. We've been together for years. We found out in May she was pregnant. Life didn't feel like it could get any better. I'm an essential worker and still unfortunately have to travel from time to time for my job. I have been trying to cut down on plane travel and will drive if able. Last week I was scheduled to be gone all week, but ended up being able to leave several days ahead of time, but wanted to surprise my fiancé. It was an 8-hour drive, but ended up being close to 14 because of traffic and poor timing on my part. I get home around 10:30 p.m. and find her and a coworker in our bed together having sex. She's an assistant producer at a local news station, and he's one of the anchors. She immediately tries to defuse the situation and says it's not what I think it is and not to jump to conclusions. He jumps up and puts his clothes on and leaves. I was so angry I was seeing stars. She tries to talk to me about it, but I don't want to hear it. I leave and call a buddy and have been staying with him for the past 6 days. I spoke to her on the phone yesterday, and she told me it was a one-time thing and she feels like the passion has been missing in our relationship, which I don't agree with at all. I think she was trying to justify the cheating and gaslight me. I'm so angry and she won't stop harassing me. I don't know what to do. We're going to be parents and I don't want anything to do with her, but I'm stuck with her for the next 18 years. Minimum? She hasn't even apologized. She just keeps trying to justify her actions. Update. So sorry for taking so long to update. This week has been hellish. Met with my friend's lawyer, family law buddy early last week. He contacted her and threatened to go public about their affair, so she was more forthcoming with information. She told him they had been sleeping together for over a year. She's 85% sure the baby is mine because they never have unprotected sex, but doesn't want to have a DNA test until the baby is born. Lawyer believes the baby is the other guy based on this comment. I haven't fully moved out yet, just moved a lot of my clothes into my buddy's place. The lawyer thinks I should sell the house and not let her buy me out because he doesn't think she has the funds and would BS me. Also sorry if I didn't answer you. I got a ton of messages here and in DMs. I tried to answer any much as I could. If you have any other questions, I'll be on for a bit. Final update. I'm still blown away by the number of people checking up on me both in this thread and via DM. I really appreciate the support and love during this trying time. On to what you're here for. We did multiple DNA tests. The baby is mine. He was born a few weeks ago and is by far the greatest thing to happen to me. He makes all this mess worth it. His mother and I are not together. I strictly speak to her about the baby, and that is all. House is sold. Closing is 3/1, but we do not need to be there. Still living with my buddy, hoping to buy a new home in the next few months for my son and I. I did not go public with the affair out of respect for our son. Her employers know and she was terminated. He is still working there. I'm not sure what their relationship consists of and I don't care. I'm guessing he bolted.